What's going on, everybody? Thank you for clicking on this video. In this video, we are getting prepared to go to Lake Fork for the Bassmaster Kayak Series Championship, which we qualified for last year through our Nation Series. This is what we worked all year for last year, and I cannot be more excited to get there and go chase these giant bass. With that being said, there is plenty of information out there, whether that's YouTube, just a simple Google search. There's a lot of information on this body of water because it holds such large fish. Bassmaster Elites were here last year, about 2 weeks before we're going to be there. So what we're going to do is we're going to determine our pre-fishing very similar to how that tournament fished and vary from there, whether that be baits, areas, kind of things that they were seeing, and deviate off of that. I did get some local knowledge. Thank you, James, for helping me out there. Super helpful. Kind of gave me an idea of what I'm looking for and the right path on areas to check. But let's go ahead and jump over and take a look at the qualifier list. I think I counted roughly 160 people qualified. So we are looking at a big event, big payout for the winner, as well as the top 10 guys get to walk across the Bassmaster Classic stage on that Friday. It is a Wednesday-Thursday tournament, 2-day event. We have 5 days of fishing. So let's get into what we're kind of thinking as far as areas to hit, why we're hitting those areas, baits we're looking at focusing, and really start to break this down. So we have 5 days of pre-fishing. I think I selected 4 launches just because that 5th day I really want to go back through that area, or the area that I decide that I'm going to launch day 1 and just go check it out. I probably won't bring any rods like we've talked about before, and just go graph the area and check out, make sure everything is setting up how we want it to fish, and just determine if that's the spot we're going to be. If it's not, however, then we are going to deviate to our 2nd day launch, and day 2 we will just go swing for the fences. What we're looking for the time of year, this is a late winter, early spring, obviously depending on water and weather going into the event over the next month or so. So we're looking pre-spawn, early spawn maybe. What we're looking to hit, road beds and shell beds. This lake has ponds that are overflowed. With all the research I've done, kind of pointed to a lot of those areas that these fish will still hold up in. Flooded creeks, tons of standing timber, and potentially grassy shorelines if they are getting ready to spawn. Our normal day of pre-fishing is roughly 10 to 13 miles, checking out endless amounts of water. We're looking at 50-ish miles plus, if 50 to 60 miles, if we do that over the course of 5 days. Baits we're going to focus on. We've got a jackhammer, hover stroll, Nico rig, shaky head, a jig, swim bait, and a jerk bait. This is a wide variety of baits that can be fished in all different water columns. It's just kind of a versatile starting area. Last year, the Bassmaster Elites was one on a hover stroll and a jerk bait. Roughly this time of year, But I know these 5 techniques will get bit, and can produce some big fish in a heavily pressured lake. Let's get into looking at our Google Maps. Like I said, we got a lot of water to cover, a lot of areas to check out, and these are kind of what I went through with James. So let's start at launch number 1. And I have this scrolled back roughly 3 years now. So where the lake was drained because they had to fix the dam, which was his explanation. So we have a lot of great images for us to determine waypoints and really check a lot of these areas out. So launch number 1, this Coffee Creek Landing. As you can see, we have a creek. The water only was down this far till they fixed the bridge, and now let's just take a look and see where it's at now. This whole thing is filled up. Okay. This was 23, but it hasn't varied much off of this. So let's go back to where we can actually see some of the stuff we've marked. Like I said, this is launch number 1. Let's take a look at some of the areas. We have this creek bed here. We have this creek bed here with a couple, breaks in those creek beds. So we went ahead and marked those. We have some deeper creek channels out here that we're going to check. We have a road bed that does run in a loop here. And if I was to pull up my Navionics, it would show that creek bed or that road bed going this way. The other area that was fascinating to me with the water level being down this low at this launch was this road bed here. This road bed here could be playing a huge factor, especially if these fish are getting ready to spawn, or they're in that pre-spawn phase. Shad, gizzard shad are all going to be loading up on this. Bass have to cross over this road bed to get to some of this spawning area in the back here. So this is something that I am definitely going to check out hard early in the week. That way I don't hit it later in the week. Then you have this pond back here. Now let me scroll forward. Scroll to a year where you can kind of see how it opens up. So this is what we were discussing about flooded ponds. If you get back here, you can really get in there and check out these ponds. Launch number 2. Launch number 2. Launch out of this Quail Hollow Motel and RV boat ramp. This launch here is one that is going to probably get hit a lot. This is where Lee Livesey caught his 42-pound day on Sunday. So we definitely have to check that out. We have some other shell beds. Another shell bed there. Another flooded pond here. Another just great area. And then we can make our way out to this point. Now, this point is a giant shell bed. I mean, it's just huge. Like, look at the size of the boats compared to this shell bed. It is gigantic. The only thing that concerns me with this shell bed is if wind gets really blowing and it just makes it unfishable. So that's kind of what we're thinking for day 2 of pre-fishing. launch number 3 for pre-fishing. Now, launch number 3 is fork boat storage and boat ramp. Couple of the guys that were in on day 4 of the Bassmaster Elites were fishing in this area, so it was just one of those ones that I needed to check out. But there is a lot of flooded timber in the back of this that we can really work around and LiveScope. There's a couple outer shell beds that we can check out. You have this funnel here when the water's up, fills up. So it could be a great area to catch fish moving into some of these backs of these coves. The interesting thing is that day 5 launch, if we don't have anything, we may come down here and check this out at the Caney Point RV Park, because this is where McKinney was fishing in the mornings and ended up winning it last year. But day 4 launch, we are launching up by the house, and we're doing that because we have a couple other areas we want to check out. We have this shell bed here. We have this spawning area back here where you do have a creek channel, flooded pond, which is just another good area. We have this creek that'll run out to here with a lot of standing timber, another good area to check out. But we can also get to over here in the back of this cove and check out that, and potentially make it all the way up to this point here where it has this elongated point. I did get some other marks up in this area. I'm not really seeing any real launches up there though, which is a problem. But if we can get those launches figured out, we may spend a day up there. Really just not sure what we want to do with that yet, but all these areas are potential winning areas. This lake is a slugfest. It took, I believe, 130 pounds to win over 4 days at the Elites. With that being said, we're probably looking anywhere from 95 to 105 inches a day that we're going to need. And this could be the week of a lifetime for any angler. I mean, you're talking potential double digits, numerous 8+ pound bass. Like, this lake is just known for gigantic fish. So like I said, we have 5 days to pre-fish. I'm gonna probably get into more of the travel stuff when we get a little bit closer. It'll follow this video, obviously. But Patrick and I are gonna roll out Wednesday night and probably make a stop after X amount of hours. Make it just a one-stop trip, because it is about 16 hours for us from Arizona. So we'll make one stop, sleep, and we'll drive the rest of the way. We'll get in on Thursday, get the truck all set up, unloaded, house set up, ready to roll for pre-fishing on Friday. I hope this video helped you guys kind of understand my thoughts into pre-fishing and selecting launches, and what I look for going into an event. If there's anything you guys want me to discuss more, please let me know in the comments below. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We have a big year ahead of us. This is stop number 2 of our Bassmaster Kayak Series journey. After this, we have Dale Hollow, 10 Killer, Champlain, and Toledo Bend for the Bassmaster Kayak Series. We also have 2 local events we're going to fish. We're going to fish Havasu twice more this year. Once in April for our local qualifier for the 2026 championship. And we are going to do the nationwide Big Bass Power Hour by Native in May. So I'm looking forward to pushing this content out to you guys, and hopefully give you guys just an idea of that. Even though you may not get a lot of time on the water like some of the locals, if you do your research at home, you can really figure out a body of water before you get there, and just make those slight changes throughout the week, and give yourself an opportunity to succeed. But I just want to say thank you guys for watching this video if you made it to this far, and I look forward to talking to you guys on the road.